I'm Dolly, and I have worked with company over the years, and we have run more than hundreds of programs, right? And this attempt is actually to showcase the learnings we have had, and hopefully you'll find it useful. And like Chari instructed, I'll try to keep it short and simple. So there are different phases of gamification program. There are primarily three phases. One is design, execution, and analysis, right? And design phase is the first phase where you are basically planning your contest, you're modeling your contest. Then the execution phase where you are executing what you have planned in the design phase. And last but not the least, analysis is it's very key where you analyze the outcome, the result, and participation, and of course the learning of the program, which you can use it for future purposes. We are now going to get into detail of these three phases. So the first one is design, and under design phase, the first step is to define your goal. The goal needs to be, I mean, it can be different for you, it could everyone, it can be different. It needs to be very tangible, so that you can measure it at the end of the day whether you have been able to move the needle on these business objectives. You could say that my objective is I want to improve the say skill of your salespeople for the new product launch, or you could say I want to increase the operational efficiency based on the activities they are performing on the ground. Very important to think about your targets or target audience. You need to know who are your audience. You need to understand what are they doing on daily basis. Like one of the panelists also said, it cannot, the goal you have or the type of activity you're planning, it needs to be tied with what they are doing currently, right? So really need to think about the target audience, what motivates them. And these kind of things will be input the way you are going to craft your design program, the way you are going to model your contest. Reward is very important. It needs to be something which is desirable by your sales team. It needs to be motivating your participant to participate in the program. And all of us always work in the constraint of budget, right? So you need to think about the optimized way of, what is the reward value, what is the number of winners, and what we have seen, right? The more the number of winners you have, the better it is for the program, because then all your participant thinks that even I have a chance to win. So, and the reward doesn't always have to be monitoring, right? So you have points and badges, and we talked about it. There are also certificates, entry in privileged clubs, which you can offer to your participants. Now we are in modeling step where you first need to think about what is the type of contest you want to do, and that really depends on your business objective. For example, you want to increase the skill level of your people, then you may want to do quiz based contest. If you want to improve a certain behavior or certain activity which your sales teams are performing in the store, the photos and videos are a great way to create a sense of community amongst your sales team. So there are different ways to do contests, different types of contests. You can decide what works best on what is the business objective you're trying to solve. Now, as a next step, we need to think about what are the different activities needs to be rewarded. For example, Simon talked about, his objective was to increase the knowledge level of people. So he listed down the activities which he wants to reward. For example, he wanted to reward the completion of the training module, taking knowledge checks. If you take knowledge checks, you will get bonus points, right? So you basically define the list of activities which can be rewarded, and then you define the earnability. You really need to know how much, what kind of, how much points users can earn, what options or, how many opportunities do they have to earn these points, so that you can plan those different levels of badges, different level of prizes, and so on. So you really need to keep it, crisp and simple. And like other panelists also said, it's very, very important to keep it simple. So rules needs to be simple and visible to the users. So they should be able to see what are the activities they need to perform, and they should be able to quickly see their progress as well. So you're asking them to do 5 things, they complete 1 thing or 2 things, they should be able to see that. It is a key to success. Now, before you launch the contest or the program, very important to create the excitement. So the pre-contest phase, you can, teasers are a great way. You can do posters, communicate through different channels like WhatsApp, email, and whatnot. So communicate about your contest few days in advance to create that excitement amongst your sales team. And it is very important to define KPI, and KPIs can be different depending on the objective you're trying to solve, right? So there could be different KPIs. For example, for if you want to increase the product sale, then you're going to look at how many product sales is happening throughout the program. So you define the KPI before you go live with your contest. Now we are in the execution phase, and it's obviously now, before this you've planned out everything. Now you're going to go live with this. So what is very important, that you start tracking your KPIs from day one. As soon as you go live, you need to start tracking your KPI. You need to see whether you are able to move the needle. And while you're analyzing, you will find that you have different type of participants. You have some participants we are very enthusiastic, who are really, throughout engaged. There's some sporadic who are going to come, they are going to be engaged for first few days, and then they're going to, you see that the engagement is going down for them. You'll find that there are some trialists who are just coming to figure out, is it interesting enough for me? There is something for me here, right? And then they may drop off. There would be cynics who somehow are not getting engaged, right? So you need to analyze and find these different cohort of users and plan the communication. Communication is key, like all the panelists say, right? So you need to plan your communication depending on different cohort of users. Allow them to get some extra points, right? This is a great motivator we have seen. Allow them, give them small opportunity in between to get those booster points, extra points, which will help them, keep engaged throughout the program. Publish leaderboard, recognize these people, performers, people who are consistent, performing well, participating, and progressing well in the leaderboard. Very important to recognize. And we also have seen, we have seen with multiple programs that gamification allows you to also increase the consumption of the relevant topic content. So if you are doing product in skill related gamification program, you do publish content relevant to that product, and you notice that people are willing to learn more about that product. So these are some of learnings we have seen, which will help you increase the performance of your gamification program. Golden period, it's so important. So any program you run, the first few days are golden period. Why? Because this is the time where all participants are trying to assess what is in it for me. Is it worth my time? Do I really need to continue participating in this program? So it's very important that you keep the momentum up. The first few days, allow them to have early achievement feel, give them points and badges, so that they feel that I have a chance to win. I am going to, I just did something and I got something, right? So it's a golden period. Make use of this, and it is if you set the tone right, if you utilize this golden period right, you have a better chance to have a great participation in your program. Once you're done with contests, very important, like Rana also said, right? If your month contest has ended, you can't take 2 more months to choose a winner. So need to have a rapid process to choose a winner based on all the criteria you may have defined, but do it like next few days. Showcase the winner on different platform. You can do it using the emails, photos, videos, and on different platforms to recognize these winners. And also thanking all participants, and let them know if there is something coming up, right? So that they know that, oh, there is something coming up, and you're building on the momentum. Analyzing the outcome, like I said, is very important. You need to know whether, you need to analyze whether you have been able to achieve your goal, you have been able to move the needle, what are the, different things which went right or wrong. You need to figure out all the learnings you had. Gamification is fairly new area, so improvement is the key. You always need to have the learnings of your gamification program and see, we need to tweak our or change a little bit of those different, say, teaser mechanism or the communication mechanism, all these different elements we are using. Try to tweak all these elements in your program so that you see what is working really well for your target audience. So tracking, changing the strategies and figuring out what is working out is really important. And like Chari also mentioned, right? Gamification program is not just for a short, result, but you need to run multiple contests. Frequency of the contest needs to be a good frequency to build a habit, to build a culture, or to build a behavior for your sales team. So with that, I hope I have been able to summarize it. Okay, Chari, thanks.